If you're looking for homes for sale in Berea, Kentucky, or if you're looking for a real estate agent in Berea, Kentucky to help you buy or sell a home, you have to watch this video until the end before you schedule your next home tour via Zillow. Because if you're looking for a good realtor in Berea and you're browsing around on Zillow and you finally find the home that you love and you click that request a tour button, you probably think that the agent that has the home listed is going to be getting in contact with you about scheduling the showing. But that's not necessarily what happens because this has happened to me twice this week. If we haven't met before, my name is Devin Todd Asbill, and I'm a full time realtor right here in Berea, Kentucky. I specialize helping people buy and sell homes right here in Berea, as well as Madison County and other surrounding areas. I'm a Berea native, meaning I've lived here my entire life, and I've built my entire real estate career around my community. Not just the houses that are currently for sale, not just by knowing the neighborhoods and the market, but I also know the people and the things that make people that do live here have a completely different experience than living somewhere else. And today, I really want to talk about something that I think every consumer should know when looking at homes for sale in Berea, Kentucky, and make sure that they understand this before scheduling a tour on Zillow. Because believe it or not, this isn't really a video about Zillow. It boils down to you as the consumer making the choice of who you get to work with and who's going to represent you throughout the process. So, let me explain what happened this week. I had two completely different people reach out to me in regards to my Zillow listings. And they both essentially said the same thing. Hey, we're just confirming that you seen our showing request. And I had absolutely no idea what they were talking about. They just did what everybody else did. They went online, they found Zillow, they found one of my listings, and they clicked a button to request a showing. Now, although my name and information is published alongside my listing, Zillow had actually connected them with a completely different real estate agent. Now, before I go any further, I want to make something very clear. I'm not saying that the agents that they did get connected with are bad agents. I personally didn't know them, nor did I know their experience or sales history. And I certainly was not going to tell these people not to work with them. That's not the point of this video. The point is that the consumer really didn't get to make the choice they thought they were getting to make whenever they clicked that button. They just thought that they did. So on my Zillow showcase listings, there's two different ways that a consumer can interact with the listing. There's an option to click a little boring white button that says contact Devin. But then there's another option right next to it in bright blue, which how coincidental that blue is my color. So whenever someone clicks that pretty little blue button, they are then routed to an agent that participates in one of Zillow's many pay per lead programs. There's several available, but I just don't participate. I don't buy leads, so I don't know which specific program that would have been. So, from the consumer's standpoint, think about it like this. You're looking at homes for sale in Berea, Kentucky. You find one, you love the house, you have my information, and you think, great, I'm going to schedule a showing. But just know that when you do that, the agent that you're connected with probably very well so may not be the agent that actually owns that listing. And I honestly think that consumers deserve to know that because when you're buying a home, your real estate agent matters a lot. But with this, there's a completely different side that I think is important if you are a homeowner that's considering selling their home here in Berea, Kentucky. Because everything that I just talked about is one of the many reasons that I decided to start implementing Zillow showcasings for all of my listings. So, whenever I take on a new listing, I'm not just taking the home and the photos and the data and putting it into the MLS and just hoping and praying that somebody wants to buy it. Because believe it or not, we're not in the COVID real estate times anymore. My goal is to put that property in front of as many qualified buyers' eyes as I possibly can. And Zillow is a really good opportunity to do that. So, a Zillow showcase listing gives additional visibility and presentation on Zillow compared to just a standard syndicated listing. And so, one of the things that I really like is it truly can make your home stand out against the competition. So again, whenever someone is looking for homes for sale in Berea, Kentucky, chances are is that yours is going to show up before anyone else's does. But I also want to be very transparent about something else. When I do these showcase listings, this isn't just something that I turn on and forget about. This is an investment for myself, for my business, and for my clients. So, between the Zillow showcase listing investment and everything that goes into preparing it, creating it, optimizing it for SEO and AEO search engines, I'm personally investing more than $900 on average for each of these listings before they're even active and available to the public. Again, this is before it even hits the market. I do that for all of my listings now. But why? Because I truly believe that sellers deserve more than just someone signing some papers and putting a sign into their yard. I want to create as many opportunities as possible for buyers to see your property. And that's actually the really interesting part about these Zillow showcase listings. Because the reason that these two specific buyers were even put into this situation, it's because my Zillow showcase on my sellers' listings did the work that it was supposed to do, and it put me and their home in front of them before anyone else's. So, while this video is primarily about consumers not having full transparency when choosing a realtor, there's also a lesson here for sellers. When you go to find a real estate agent in Berea, Kentucky, don't just ask, "What commission do you charge?" Ask important questions. What are you going to actually do to market my house? And where is it going to be advertised? How is your realtor going to make it presentable? And how are they going to make it stand out against all of the other homes here in Berea? Ask what your agent is going to be doing to personally invest into your property. And I'm not just talking about marketing dollars. Because again, getting your home into the MLS is only one part at the very beginning of the process, but it should not be the entire marketing plan. And so, again, this is where those two situations from this week really start to get interesting because both of these consumers contacted me because they thought they were getting in touch with me to see my listings with me. But I fully explained what happened, and I told both of the clients that they had every right to continue the relationship that Zillow had initiated for them. I did not and will not tell them not to work with another agent. I did not and will not badmouth another agent, especially one that I don't know. I didn't pressure them or try to convince them to fire the other agent. I simply explained to them what had happened and told them that they were free to make whatever decision that they wanted to make. And at the end of the day, both of these sets of clients independently chose that they wanted to work with me. And I think that it's really important to explain why. They already knew who I was. They already knew my reputation within my community and that I specialize in this area. They know that I know Berea and they know that I know Madison County. They knew that I was the person who actually knew the property better than anyone else. And so they canceled the appointment with the other agent. They chose to work with me. And I'm not saying that to brag, and I'm saying it to just illustrate the bigger picture that when you're looking to buy or sell a home, don't just go with the first person you come across, especially if it's just because a website generated it and sold you to them. You need to be doing your research. And so, with that, I want to give you some very specific things that you should be looking at before you decide who you want to work with. Of course, the easiest and probably the best recommendation, look at their online reviews and then take it a step further. Look at their brokerage's reviews. Look for reviews that are specifically calling out the individual that you are wanting to work with to get an idea of what it's actually like to work with them. Did you find that they were responsive? Did they communicate? How did they communicate? Do they know the market? Did they help their clients solve real problems with real solutions? And did their past clients feel like they were actually being fully represented? Those are the things that I would want to know. Now, second, you need to look at their sales history. How many homes have they actually sold? Where are the properties located? What are the price ranges that they typically work in? And I think that that's something that's really important. I would go so far as to find out whether that agent is an individual agent or whether they work on a team. And if they do, and you're reading through those reviews, don't just assume that the production and the reviews go hand in hand with that specific agent. Find out what they have personally done. If you're buying a home in Berea, I would want to know how much experience that particular agent has in Berea, not just whether or not they plugged in that Berea was another one of their service areas. Number three, find out if they are a full time real estate agent or a part time real estate agent. And let me be very clear, I'm not saying that a part time agent equates to a bad agent. When I first started in real estate, I was a part time agent for almost a whole year. And I know several fantastic part time agents. But in doing so, you really deserve to know what you're hiring. If you're going to be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a home, you should know how available your agent is going to be. Now, again, going back to the teams or the solo agents, if they're on a team, are you going to be directly working with that person or are they going to hand you off to someone else on the team? Again, neither model is wrong. There are phenomenal teams out there, but you should know what your experience is going to look like before you commit to working with someone. Next, I would ask how many clients they are currently working with because that matters. So, if an agent tells you that they have 20 active clients that they're working with, ask them, how are you keeping up with everything? And knowing that, how quickly are they going to respond to you when you have questions or concerns? Who's going to be showing you homes? And if the agent that you're working with is unavailable and you happen to find the perfect home, who's going to be the agent that gets you in quickly to see it before it's too late? You need to know what kind of service you're actually going to receive. And number six, especially if you're relocating to Berea, Kentucky, you need to ask how well they know the market that they're trying to serve you in. Because there is a huge difference in an agent that says, I work in Berea versus an agent who has extensive experience selling homes in Berea, Kentucky. There's a difference between knowing how to write a contract and knowing the community that they are writing the contract in. So, if you're moving to Berea or you're hiring an agent in Berea, you don't just want to hire somebody to open a door. You need someone that can help you understand what you're buying, the neighborhoods, the schools, the roads, the surrounding properties, the local market, and your neighbors, the things that aren't going to be obvious from a Zillow listing. And that's really the point that I want to leave with you. If someone decides to hire me, I don't want it to just be because they seen one of my videos. In fact, I want them to do the complete opposite and do exactly what I'm telling you to do now. Go online and look at my reviews, look at my past sales, look at my experience, look at my clients' experiences. How long have I been in the business? What areas do I work and what type of clients do I normally work with? Ask me how available I am and if I want an interview. And most definitely, you need to be interviewing other agents too, because you should pick the person that works best for you. And if that's me, I would be honored to help serve you. But if it's somebody else, at the end of the day, that's okay. That's just the name of the game. But all in all, that decision should be left up to you to make. And I think that's what really concerns me about the situation that I was just talking about this week. It's not that another agent got a showing. It's not that the other agent got a lead. And it's not that there was a chance that that agent might ultimately work with the clients that sought to reach out to me. It's the fact that as a consumer, you think that you're choosing an agent when in reality, you've, against your own will, been sold to somebody else without fully understanding what's happening. Because again, your realtor is not there to just open the door. They are potentially the one person that you are trusting with one of the largest financial decisions that you will make in your life. So do not let the algorithm choose that person for you. And most definitely do not let a pretty blue button do that for you. Do not choose an agent simply because their name was the first name that was thrown at you. If you're looking to buy or sell a home here in Berea, Kentucky, do your research, compare your options, do your due diligence, and choose the realtor that you believe deserves to earn your business. And if after doing that research, you decide you'd like to have a conversation with me, I would love the opportunity to meet you. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or relocate to Berea, Kentucky, I offer free consultations with absolutely no obligation to work with me. And if you don't know how to book a consultation with me, I've put the link in the description. I'll gladly walk you through the process, answer your questions, and help you decide what makes sense for you in your specific situation. Now, you don't have to be ready to buy. You don't have to be ready to sell. You don't have to commit to working with me. The consultation is simply just an open invitation to sit down and talk. Because again, at the end of the day, I don't want to be the realtor that you're just randomly connected to. I want to be the realtor that you researched and did your digging and intentionally chose. Like I said, my name is Devin Todd Asbill with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Foster Realtors, and I'll see y'all on the next one.